What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show and Speak Easy. It is your boy LQ.
And so Big Chill, aka Landon, you know what it is.
It's Mero. What's up, y'all?
I don't know what the fuck you doing, but finally, after a very busy start to Black History Month.
Hey, hold on. This thing, I just want to make sure this thing can pick up my Popeyes drink.
Yes, man.
Yeah, it picks up everything, man. Everybody know that you being, a big backer, as they call
Damn,
it.
bro. Bro, I'm just trying to eat some Popeyes too. All right, bro. All right.
Back boot lip bastard.
He just said bro. Black History Month, and look at you setting us back already.
Hey, man.
But yeah, today's episode, we want to go over how our experience went with the Super Bowl overall, mainly the halftime show, of course. We are the show to Speak Easy. We also want to cover the Drake album, the Drake and P&D collab album, some sexy songs for you, and then end up with a little bit of anime. We got to talk about some Sakamoto Days. I got my updates. I'm ready. So anyway, good. To start us out, how did everybody feel about the halftime show? Matter of fact, let's take it back even further. For the people that watched the game, how did you feel about the game?
Game was a big letdown. I already knew that Philly's defense was pretty good, but I still figured that, with the two-time defending champs, I expected a better game. And the fact that they just faced each other 2 years ago, I expected, a good back and forth. But honestly, after the second drive by Kansas City, I was like, yeah, this is cooked. This is over. So it's unfortunate that the game was a blowout. Honestly, I cut it off probably, I think, the first drive in the third quarter by the Chiefs because I was like, I got to be more productive with my time because there's no reason for me to be watching a blowout.
I literally stopped after the halftime show. It was done.
You should.
It was over.
That was the only thing he cared about.
I don't fault you. I don't fault you for it, man.
Hey, facts. Honestly, if the game was good, I would have kept watching.
Yeah.
I did keep watching. I take it back. I saw the third quarter.
No.
Because Patriots had a very exact similar situation, and they won.
Yeah, 28-3. But at least they had a little hope. Like Chiefs just came out so damn flat, and I'm just like, it reminded me more of the Peyton Manning Super Bowl against Seattle, where they start the game
Broncos.
They start the game off with a safety, and immediately just went downhill from there. It was kind of like that.
That said, his first snap screwed up the whole game.
First snap, safety. You're done.
I remember a meme of the Broncos O-line, and it was just paperweights falling over.
Yeah, that's basically how it felt. So I would be shocked if they don't address, the offensive line throughout the draft or free agency. They got to do something. But if you let Twitter and, society tell it, more than likely they'll just sacrifice a couple of people and be back in the Super Bowl next year.
Which honestly could be a real thing. Not sacrifice like tied them to a stake, but somebody else is going to jail. Somebody else is getting a DUI, and they're going to jail, or they're getting suspended 6 games, and it's going to go right back to normal.
Unfortunately, I think I saw like a news article earlier where Mahomes' granddad died or something like that. I think a day or two ago. So everybody was like, "Oh, they're going to sacrifice number one."
Nah, the sacrifice is going to be other players on the team. It's going to be bench players.
Hey,
but
with the way society going now, I can't rule out nothing. I can't.
Unfortunately for everybody else, I really enjoyed the game, but that's because the people that know me know I love a good blowout game.
I'm about to say you love
blowouts. You're one of them weirdos.
It's not weird.
It's very
when someone
weird.
masters their craft, you want to see them at their best. That was their best.
I like seeing my teams blow out.
Yeah. I'm about to say,
obviously.
When it's my team, yes. Or if it's me doing the dominating, pause. Yes, I enjoy it.
It was easy to be neutral. I just wanted to see somebody get cleared out. All.
I ain't gonna even lie.
Yeah, I wasn't neutral after Travis Kelce opened up his mouth about gumbo. That was
Oh,
some wild
I
shit.
didn't even hear that.
Nah, he just said he thought gumbo was pointless and he didn't like it, and he was like, "Who wants brown soup?" I was like, "This motherfucker needs to lose."
You
That
can't
is
say
funny.
something that damn stupid in New Orleans of all
Yeah.
places.
Exactly. And then like also just like I would say the passiveness about having Kendrick as a halftime performer also made me not like the Chiefs. Like at least Jalen Hurts could name his favorite Kendrick song, which also killed me because boy said the Heart Part 5. I was like, oh.
That's a very strange choice, but hey, by all means,
Interesting.
I mean, I don't think it's that crazy, but I mean, it is a very good song. I
it's
give
a
it to
good
him.
song. But
It's a good song.
I haven't met too many Kendrick fans who are like, "Oh yeah, Hard Part 5." Yeah,
Yeah,
so
Nigga
but that's
said,
mainly because
all
we'll
of the
say
Pimp
the
a
Heart
Butterfly,
series. Yeah, that's
all
true.
the good kid, Mad City, Heart
Yeah.
Part 5.
All
I'll
the
even
white
take it
fans
back
that
to
love
Section
Kendrick will
8.
always say to
I'll take it back to Section 80
Yeah.
I don't.
because first song I heard
Honestly,
from him was "Hold Up," and I was like, "Oh, this guy got it."
Yeah, me playing it on repeat in my car on every
sure
CD that
was.
I had.
Hold Up is really good.
Yeah, if it wasn't for LQ, I probably wouldn't even know who Kendrick was, man.
I was getting on everybody's nerves. We
Call-
were doing like lists. We were doing lists for the year of like rapper of the year, and I was like, put Kendrick Lamar up there. They were like, who the fuck is that? I was like, don't worry about it. Put Kendrick Lamar up there.
Yeah, over here pissing people off about Lil Wayne back in the day too.
I
But
mean,
see,
he was
that's
in
why
his.
when I say that you're consistent about your Wayne opinion, you have been consistent.
He's been very consistent unless they do something to change my mind, which
Also, you can always change.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, I'm always consistent unless they do something to change my mind. Some people switch up to be in favor of others. No, I don't care. I don't like him. I've never liked him, and he's continued to turn into the exact person I thought he was. But anyway,
That
now
whole
halftime.
Young Money has, man.
2024 was not a good year for Young Money at all, and it's mainly because of the Super Bowl performance.
Definitely didn't help.
Well, you basically tuned out after halftime, so you tell me first. How did you feel about the halftime show?
All right.
Oh yeah, you about to say you go ahead, Claude.
Yeah.
Oh shit, my bad. I couldn't hear shit over crunching this damn ice. That
if
Popeye
not,
still got me in
I-
a chokehold, bro.
I can go if you
Just
need
keeps
it.
getting blacker and blacker. Your iron must be low.
All right, now hold on. I'm gonna just say, halftime performance was good. I did wish there were more songs from older albums, but then I get it. There's not as much time. He's got like what, 15 minutes? I think it's 15, 20 minutes.
30. I thought it was 30 minutes.
13 minutes.
Oh, 13 minutes just to
nah.
perform, but 30 minutes to set up everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a lot of time to do.
Not
as
at
far
all.
as the performance and everything, love the dancing. Love Samuel L. Jackson there as Uncle Sam. That shit was fire. Everything about the performance was great. I wanted more older songs, but with a 13-minute window, honestly, it kind of makes sense he played what he played. Also, because he played some of his old songs in his old Super Bowl performance, so I kind of get it. So I guess it had to be all be new stuff, but I liked it. I know I'm not alone. Got like 50 million goddamn dance TikTok remixes from people across the world.
They have been
It's
everywhere.
crazy to me.
Of every color, too.
Insane.
You got Bali dancers stunting on Drake, bruh. In blue.
That shit was dope, though. I was so glad I came across that video.
Oh, man. Yeah, dancer. I thought it was good. I do think it was not as flashy, which I know some people did not like.
Yeah, which there was the NFL actually stepped in and didn't allow fireworks this time around. One thought it was
whack.
they one was like fire hazard codes. I know another one had to deal with injuries, and I think one of them was like a sensitive and being insensitive to some current events.
That's
So
fair. I mean,
like,
they did go through that shooting, or not shooting, but well, was it a shooting?
Yeah, he got in a shootout with the cops, but he
shootout
definitely
with the
was
cops,
just
and he
ramming
was
through the
running
people
over
with the
people
car.
with his car.
Yeah. Because the events happened in New Orleans. I thought it was something specifically to do with fireworks.
Oh, okay. No. They were just thinking about like some of the theatrics of it. Not only were a fire hazard, but in the time period could be kind of in poor taste.
Yeah, they had heightened
So
security too. So
yeah. Plus, it's a
That's
dome.
fair.
I don't think they were going to open the dome. I think that was one of their main goals too, was just not to open the dome. So if they had fireworks, like how you gonna see them from inside the dome? Yeah, I did look into that too because I thought it was weird that there were no fireworks. But
well, I mean, flashing is also mean like what what's it called? Rihanna had like a floating platform. I think Usher had a bunch of shit going on. More stuff like that.
Oh, got it. I didn't. We know why Rihanna's had to be flashy because Rihanna couldn't move.
I know it wasn't crazy. Well, yeah. Rihanna was pregnant.
Towards the end of her second trimester.
To be fair, the Superdome cannot open up. By the way.
Then yeah, that's another reason they didn't have the
yeah. That's why I was. I wasn't looking for those. Yeah, I should stay closed.
Yeah.
And wasn't the last time they had it there? Was that the one with the blackout with the Ravens and 49ers? Yeah, they have already too much bad history, so they don't need to test it out and see if they can get away with it now. Don't do that.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as the performance, I loved it. But I mean, also a lot of people know I really, really, really like GNX. GNX is one of my favorite Kendrick albums, and the songs that were performed from there, like I knew every word of pretty much every song from start to finish, even the snippet, and that's mainly because me and Claude were talking about it on my birthday, and I was like, "What a wonderful gift!" I was like, "Imagine if an album came out," and he was like,
"That was crazy."
Yeah, it did, and I was like, "What?" It literally came out like we ran it back maybe 2 times and then the album dropped. That was crazy. But I will say my only complaint is actually different from what most people's was, and it's the sound engineer. You fucked up the second song, like the second and a half song, like that. The mic was so low, and I was like, "All right, Samuel L. Jackson is now louder than Kendrick. Fix that right now."
That's fair.
I do. Everything else, I really enjoyed. I thought I wasn't bothered by the song selection once again because I really like GNX. I also thought it was smart marketing because I like when all the people that were hoping for like, oh, he's gonna bring out Hot Boys, he's gonna bring out Juvenile, he's gonna bring out Wayne, he's gonna bring out Tyler the Creator. Like for him to not bring out those people, he needed songs that stood well on their own. And as great as it would have been to hear some of the older songs, thematically they wouldn't have worked. The only song I will say this, the only song I missed in its entirety was already performed at the last Super Bowl that he was in. So I didn't feel a way about it. Like, yes, he didn't perform all right. Well, duh, he performed it at the last Super Bowl he was in. Nobody really gets a chance to repeat, so I don't expect him to play it again. That was the only one that I didn't expect. The one song that I wanted the most, even though, ironically, I don't really care for the song as much as the others, was All the Stars. I was like, please, for SZA and Kendrick, please give me All the Stars and I'll be good. I got it. Great. My favorite moment, even though most people's is going to probably be Not Like Us and TV Off, which, I mean, I can't blame you for loving TV Off. Like, it's just everybody is used to it. Oh, hey, we'll be fine. But my favorite moment was actually the doo-wop version of Man at the Garden. I thought that was extremely well done, and for me to have the insight, because I listen to GNX so much, when he talks about he's lost a lot of friends, 16 to be specific, he had the 10 dudes in all white tees behind him doing the doo-wop version, and there's 6 people on the light poles looking over him. I was like, all right, man, I give it to you. This is amazing. But the storyline, of course, with Uncle Sam is definitely a highlight. I have very few complaints about this performance. For anyone saying that it's like the worst or it's like a bottom 5, I can rattle off 3 worst performances off the top of my head without even thinking about it. I still, to this day, say The Who was the absolute worst halftime performance I've ever seen in my entire life.
Definitely not memorable.
It's not even because people like. It's not because I don't like rock music. Because Coldplay is one of my favorite halftime performances ever. It's because
lit performance
that was hella lit, but it was because it's so bland. It was so boring, and it was like them on a small stage. The Who can barely move because they're so goddamn old. That performance was terrible. there's the Black Eyed Peas, just because I'm not gonna lie, I've never liked the Black Eyed Peas. I think their whole song selection is ass and it sounds mostly the same. But also the mistakes that happened during the performance were kind of glaring. They were like actual mistakes. So that one didn't work too well. Also, shout out to my high school. They actually were the dancers in that Super Bowl that was in Dallas. And that was when the Black Eyed Peas performed. Also, first time Usher performed. Granted, for anybody that didn't hear a couple songs that you wanted to hear, or that's because guess what? Usher performed them in the Super Bowl that he was in with Black Eyed Peas. Another one, U2. I actually like U2 as a band. Performance sucked. Just wasn't a good set list. Didn't have enough going on outside of the like fighter jet going across the sky while they performed. That shit was dope.
But hard to fuck that up.
It's really hard to fuck that up. Well, I mean, in 2025, really easy to fuck that up from what we've seen lately about things going in the air. But
true.
Historically, very hard to fuck that up.
Yeah, and also they were also as far as people wanting more New Orleans performers, you said this earlier. John Batiste and Trombone Shorty also performed at Super Bowl. They were instrumental, but those are like iconic New Orleans legends. That anyone who actually cares about New Orleans music will know them, especially anyone who is either older or just cares really about New Orleans music history. It ain't all just Lil Wayne, bro.
Exactly.
As much as people really want it to be.
As much as people really want it, they just wanted it to be all rap, all Wayne, and it's just not the way it's going to be. Also, for
I mean, for the
just
most
in case
part,
anybody
when
was
it comes
curious,
to cities, I mean, for the most part, I mean, other than like LA, where they had basically all of LA, people performing, most of the time, people that are from that particular city don't even perform. So I don't know why people were so hung up on it and stuff.
Exactly. Also, you know what? I take it back. I actually did rewatch the YouTube performance recently. It wasn't them that was bad. It was, unfortunately, it was Phil Collins. It was Phil Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, Toni Braxton, and Tina Turner. There was only like two good moments, and of course, it was Christina Aguilera and Tina Turner. But I wasn't alive to see New Kids on the Block perform. Heard it was ass. I believe it. And just in case nobody knows, the Blues Brothers actually performed in the Super Bowl too. But yeah, The Who is the worst thing I have witnessed in my actual life.
I haven't seen the Phil Collins set, but I'm sure the hype as part of that was when they played the intro to In the Air Tonight.
Yeah, everybody.
Of course.
And after that was probably a wrap.
Of course. But yeah, so yeah, a lot, and I mean a whole lot worse performances. I think out of the entire 37, Rolling Stone ranked Kendrick at 13. Number 1 was Prince. U2 was number 2. Beyonce in 2013 was number 3. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick was number 4. So Kendrick made the top 5 regardless of what y'all liked or didn't like. And Aerosmith, NSYNC, Nelly, and Mary J. Blige was number 5. Fucking wild time. That was in
Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson.
What a crazy
it's like in the 20s. It's in the 20s somewhere. It's number 26. Yeah. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed the performance.
Did you say Aerosmith and NSYNC?
Bro, yes. It's fucking wild.
I just wanted to process that real quick.
That's why I was like, bro, 2001 was a ridiculous time.
What in the fuck?
But yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers and Bruno Mars was number 20, which I would have ranked higher. I love Red Hot Chili Peppers. But anyway, for anyone that I got in a small, and this is just a small caveat, it's still about the same thing. I got into a small argument because I always do on social media. But there was a guy that said Kendrick wasted his opportunity to garner a larger audience and by playing his back catalog and not just playing newer stuff, which still weirds me out because he was like, he didn't play any of his biggest hits. And I was like, so Not Like Us is number 1. Yeah. TV Off premiered at number 1. Well, no, at number 2. TV Off premiered at number 2. Squabble Up was top 5. Luther was number 1. Humble is double diamond now.
Yeah.
DNA was top 10. Like, he didn't perform a single song that wasn't in the Billboard top 10. All the Stars, I think All the Stars was the only one that wasn't.
All the Stars, I think, has some of the highest. I don't know about Billboard, but if you go to Spotify, I think it actually has the most played of all the songs.
Yeah.
I say,
And then
Not Billboard.
all the Stars is so elevated, especially because of, if you went to go see Black Panther in theaters and how ignorant we were, after that movie or whatever. Like, I think that took that song way higher. But I mean, it's an amazing song though. It really is.
No,
Just for clarity,
Mm-hmm.
Not Like Us has 1 billion plays on Spotify.
Billion.
All the Stars has 2 billion.
Hey, you can't talk about all that, man, because all of that's botted, bro. Remember?
Oh yeah, those are botted numbers. Until you look at the billboards again, and then you're just like, oh,
it's all botted.
Those are from everywhere. So my counter argument to this guy that was
like
making this
people don't listen
statement,
to songs over and over and over.
Thank you. And my thing is, like, the playlist can be botted, but the actual listens don't have to be. And the fact that people don't understand that nuance, and the reason why I know is because I have music on Spotify, and I was added to a botted playlist. But I still don't, one, I'm not making no money. And two, the listens for that song aren't botted. The playlist is, which means bots have put together the playlist and curated it for you to be in a higher ranking. I don't know why it happened for me. I only put like $10 into making my music, so I don't know what the fuck's going on there. But anyway, regardless, killing this man in this argument. One, Kendrick now has 3 albums in the top 10 for Billboards. He is the first rapper to ever do so. Just like Mira just said, the song "Not Like Us" has over 1 billion streams. And now from the Super Bowl, that was a 175% increase. Album sales: GNX sold 236,000 units on the weekend of February 13th, which put the album at number 1.
And being a surprise release.
Exactly. And the physical copies just now went out the week after the Super Bowl, which I need to give me one immediately. But on top of that, he is the first rapper in history to have 100 million listeners on Spotify.
That's crazy.
To say that is a failure is just weird. Like, oh, you should have played his back catalog. What? So then people would get to listen to the same 3 albums that made the top 10 in the billboards that they're already listening to. His current album, his longest running album on the billboards, and honestly his most commercial album. That's what you were concerned about. You were worried about the bigger audience. He's now moved up to number 9 in the most consumed artist worldwide. That's not just rapper, artist worldwide. So yeah, the Super Bowl was an immense success for him. I'm not taking any slack for that. Nobody's about to sit here and lie to my face. But yeah, if I had to rate the performance, I give it a 9 out of 10. It's in my top 5 performances for sure. Like I said, the audio was an issue for like maybe a song and a half, and then they fixed it. I've watched it probably about 4 or 5 times. Michael Jackson's obviously probably number 1 on my list. Number 2 is probably Prince. Then Kendrick, honestly, is number 3. But overall, I loved it. And I don't want to harp on it too long, but we also have to talk about the man that died that day.
I'll just give my little 2 cents. In regards to the performance, my overall feeling was, I was a little underwhelmed because I was expecting a little bit more, but I still like the performance overall because, like I said, I didn't see the Uncle Sam narrative happening. I didn't see Serena Williams coming out there crip walking. I didn't see that.
That's crazy.
That wasn't even an option in my mind or whatever. And
Totally forgot that happened.
Yeah. And GNX is not my favorite album of Kendrick's or whatever, but I definitely would have liked to hear Swim Pools and a few other songs or whatever. But like we already talked about, with it being such a condensed performance, it's expected to basically play most of your songs that are from the new release. It makes sense. any artist is gonna do that. If it was Drake, if he was on the halftime show, he would have been doing this album that he just released with PND. So
Yeah, and Usher dropped an album, I think the night before the Super Bowl with his, and he performed a song, like a song and a half.
it's just good. That's good marketing. It's all it is.
It is good marketing. You
Real
play
quick,
to win the game.
before we get to the man who was killed, Landon brings up a good point. How y'all ranking GNX album? I think we already did this, but out of all Kendrick's albums, now that it's been out for a while and it got performed at the Super Bowl.
For me, I got To Pimp a Butterfly always gonna be number one for me.
Same.
I think Good Kid comes in at 2 for me. And we're just doing studio albums because if we do Untitled, Unmastered, and all this other stuff,
I'm not gonna do all this.
Yeah,
No,
it
yeah,
get a little complicated. But To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City. I put Mr. Morale number 3. I probably put GNX 4 and then Damn 5. I think.
Okay.
I like it.
I think currently, at least that's how I feel right now.
Naimura, how about you?
I think I have To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid at 1 and then 2. 2 being Good Kid. I think, honestly, man, with all the context surrounding GNX, it may be 3. If there was zero context, like if this just released and there was no diss track, there was no Drake, it'd probably be 4 or 5.
Fair.
But I think it's impossible to be like, oh, context doesn't matter. It's like, nah, it kind of does.
Yeah,
So
for a rapper who conceptualizes just about everything, saying that saying that something doesn't deserve the context is weird.
Yeah, it would be weird to be like, oh, I know Prince wrote music about like the war, and it's like, well, that may not be relevant at all times, but context matters. So yeah, I'm gonna put probably GNX at 3, maybe, but it's tied with some other ones. So I was curious, but I got mine at 3. What do you got with you?
My top 3 actually looks exactly like yours. Number 1, To Pimp a Butterfly. Number 2, Good Kid, Mad City. Number 3, GNX. Number 4 would be Damn, and then Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. The reason why is because there are multiple songs in Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers that I feel like are such theatrical experiences that like revisiting them doesn't really work. Like, for instance, Mother I Sober is not a song that you just go back and listen to multiple times, especially outside of the context of the album. I'm not saying it's weird, but it is rough. It's one like this. The album itself is hard to sit through, and it's not because of it sonically, but it's such a heavy album. That's
it is very heavy.
It's so heavy that a lot of these songs like are very hard to come back to and listen to.
I think it was very relatable to me when it came out, so I think that's why it hit so hard for me.
Oh yeah, and for me, this is probably the second most relatable album. I mean, first is definitely, I would say, Damn is the most relatable, even though I don't have it ranked as high. But when it comes to Damn, it's just like the feeling of everything pretty much falling apart. Like feeling like everything that you've put in the effort to change the world didn't work. So it's just like this feeling of hopelessness, but then also like falling back into your vices. Easily for me, the most relatable. But
I literally couldn't pick a number 3, so yeah, I have those kind of tied.
Yeah,
they're all good.
They're all really good. But yeah, I love GNX. Like GNX is a solid number 3, and it's like closer to number 2 than what I'm actually giving credit to at this point. I genuinely love it.
Yeah, I'm definitely the other way. Like To Pimp a Butterfly and Good Kid is probably never moving until we'll see what happens on the next album. But for me, those are 1 and 2. Can't move it.
It came out on my birthday. I give it a little bit of bias.
That's fair. That's fair. I get it.
The time that it dropped made that literally one of the best days.
Well,
so,
I mean, if I had to add one more album, then this didn't come on your birthday, but maybe that Drake album, right?
It did feel like my birthday too. You know what? It felt like my birthday 2 years ago. And just to let everybody know, full context, that birthday wasn't a good birthday. So I just, as far as that album goes, I really don't understand what the point was. Like, from a musical, from a musician standpoint,
make some money.
I'm obviously, but like not from a marketing standpoint, but from a marketing standpoint, every Drake album makes sense because it makes dollars. But from a artist standpoint, I don't like the structure of it because there's so many songs that just don't fit. Like there's very little cohesion on the entire album. And then with that lack of cohesion, it's bloated. And then with it being bloated, it's not mixed very well. I could have mixed this album equal to what it is now. And I can guarantee everybody, I am not the best at mixing tracks. But also it's written poorly in many, many, many places. But in their purpose for making this album kind of irks me. But before I get into all that, y'all tell me what y'all thought about the album.
Full context, I'll start it off. I didn't listen to that garbage. I'm a Drake fan.
I was just about to say, let's go ahead and start with the biggest fan out of all of us.
I'm a big fan, but I am not a big PARTYNEXTDOOR fan. Yeah, I have a few friends who love PARTYNEXTDOOR. They'll fucking die on the hill.
My condolences.
But I just think he's like a worse version of Frank Ocean. The Weeknd has been clowning him forever. It's a worse version of him. But so I wasn't really hyped for the PARTYNEXTDOOR. I heard a few snippets. I heard a few parts. People were clowning the lyrics, and I was like, they can't be that bad. And they kind of were. And I was like, well, maybe they're cherry picking. But I'm like, okay, there's like 6 different songs. Is it still cherry picking at that point? And I just
exactly.
I don't know. But as far as the music in it, I didn't hear any bad music per se.
Like the production?
Mm-hmm. I would say when you're talking about mixing, you're thinking about vocals. But if you listen like pure instrumental, I didn't hear
instrumentals are good.
Yeah. If you want to talk about the mix, maybe one thing. But I thought the instrumental on a few were pretty good. But I was like, I can skip this. Yeah. Also, it's not like I get it. Party, his label, I understand all that. But I don't really give a fuck about PARTYNEXTDOOR. So, I mean, I think the average person probably didn't care about this album that much because, one, it's a joint album. A lot of people who listen to Drake probably don't know about PARTYNEXTDOOR because PARTYNEXTDOOR really is not that big of an artist. To be honest,
I will say that's the only thing. I will say that's the only thing I kind of disagree with. I believe that he is a big artist, but he's a big regional artist, if that makes sense. Like everywhere from Canada on down to like the West Coast, like Canada, a little bit in like the Midwest kind of area. Basically anywhere it's cold where you want to get hugged up in the middle of wintertime. I think PARTYNEXTDOOR is well known. But you are right. Commercially, like, can we push some numbers and can we sell out a stadium?
Nah.
With PARTYNEXTDOOR, yeah, I believe that's a little iffy too.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean you're a bad artist or anything. Like someone's now selling out stadiums.
Yeah,
but I also don't really care too much for his.
He's got 28 million monthly listeners. I give him that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's. You know, it's funny. He has the same as Phil Collins, who is like ancient. That we were talking about earlier.
That context is crazy, but yeah. But yeah, Landon, you got anything else to add about the album? I don't want to.
Yeah, in regards to the album, like you said earlier, the fact that it's bloated, 21 songs, like there's no reason for 21 songs. Even the biggest Drake fans out there, like, especially with the discourse I've seen on Twitter, he went 20 for 21 only because he had P&D had his one song by himself, and I'm like, if you truly believe he went 20 out of 21, you really need help because
Lots of it.
because even for like a Kendrick album or just any artist, there most of the time I can say that there's at least a couple of songs on each album where I'm like, okay, if I don't hear it, I'm cool on it. But on this album, first starting off, it was basically like NyQuil to me because like seeing Tower, Mothballs, all that, like I'm just like, it's just kind of there. It did nothing for me. But I do know that one of LQ's favorite songs, Spider-Man, Superman. I'm just playing.
Shut up. Yeah.
But like I told him, when it comes to the album, I feel like only like a third of the album, and it's mostly because, like you said earlier, in regards to the production and stuff like that. I do like the production on the album. I really do. But like for instance, one of the songs, what is it? Meet Your Padre, I think.
Yeah.
It feels like a fucking parody song. Like
it has to be.
Like
it feels like Wagwan Delilah, but just in another language.
Yeah, exactly. like that
song was fucking stupid.
That's not a song I could take serious. Like, and then the way he says, por favor, Coca-Cola. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, let's stop it, bro. Like,
yeah.
That's some Emilia Perez shit right there. What you just said.
that song right there gets on my nerves. No key, I know everybody's loving that. Oh, it's a club banger, this and that. First, I don't give a fuck about the club. Never have. And then like the best parts of that song, like I really, really don't care for it. Like I like the beat. Same thing with Meet Your Padre. I like the beat. If you take out Drake, hey, the instrumental fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like I guess I can say the middle part of the album is my favorite part of the album. But like the beginning and end, I'm like, yeah, you can toss all that shit away. I don't need it. I don't need it at all.
Well, guess it's my turn. I sat with this album, and the first time I listened to it, I just went through the main singles that people kept talking about. So I listened to Nokia, Give Me a Hug. I also listened to Glorious just because somebody made a reference to it. And I also listened to CN Tower.
Oh, brother.
And CN Tower, I was like...
I do not like it.
I was like, maybe there's better songs on here. Literally the first thing I said, I was like, maybe there's better songs on here.
And everybody was like, oh, the Lollipop sample. I'm like, great. Don't give a fuck.
Exactly. So after that, I was like, it's probably... I was like, you know what? I'll just listen to Give Me a Hug. The first time I heard Give Me a Hug, I was like, oh, this is kind of dope. The second time I heard Give Me a Hug, I looked at my wife and said, this nigga is almost 40. And then I instantly stopped liking the song nearly as much as I did before. Nokia, I actually was just like, this song is for my wife. Like, this is for her when she goes out with her friends. So I asked her, how does she like it? And she said, it's okay. She was like, if I heard it at the club, maybe I'll dance to it. She was like, it's a little catchy.
Yeah.
But I'm not, she was like, I'm not ecstatic about it. And I was like, my only thought about it is, baby girl.
Every time I hear that. Every time.
Bro, let me see you do a dance. Let me see you twirl. Every time I heard that, I laughed. And I was like, you know what? The fact that that's stuck in my head and it makes me laugh, Nokia is a good song. Like, I'm not going to sit here and hate on this song that's actually pretty good. Listening to the rest of the album, the thing that I have been saying for years, and is still true to this day, is Drake can't fucking sing. For anyone that thinks he can, the reason why you think...
Oh, yes. I disagree. So continue.
You go for it. The thing
no. This album, come on, let's hear the argument.
This album truly exposes the fact that
was a given he was going to disagree. I already knew that. So go ahead.
This album highlights the fact that Drake actually can't sing. The engineering on his voice and that auto-tune is so overdone to correct his pitch, which he only can sing like 3 fucking notes in the first place. The thing that we liked about Drake is that he sings those 3 notes very well. But compared to someone that actually has a little bit more range, like Party Next Door, they are terrible when together. Drake by himself can sound fine, but Drake paired with an actual singer, you realize that Drake needs vocal coaching and they need to turn down the auto-tune and force him to actually sing. It's the thing that helps him out is the production around him. Go ahead.
I can't disagree. wait. Hold on. Before you go off anymore, are the light skin king? Well, maybe he's getting demoted. But but before, I will say his singing voice and everything is perfect alone. But you already said that, and that's gonna be my one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there's certain songs like Fire and Desire, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even Lil Wayne and who's the people who sing crappily? Lil Wayne, Post Malone when they sing crappily.
Eminem when he sings a hook, it is garbage.
But when they do it on their own,
it's the emotion he wants to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's the thing.
You can't be putting them next to SZA or some bullshit or Party.
Oh yeah. And and I'm just like, every time I heard it, when he would come in, I was like, why? Why are you even here? And that leads into a bigger problem that I'll say in a minute. But even with Party, I was like, you can sing. And I know people don't like Party Next Door. I don't like Party Next Door's lyrics. That's my big problem with him. I think he's decent as a singer. He is poor man's week. He's poor man's weekend. He's just now getting into the cocaine. Maybe he'll put out a great album afterwards. We know Weeknd's been doing cocaine for the longest since it was
him and Bruno Mars.
Yeah, so it's just like, he got his moment. He's been doing that since his first single. Weeknd's been doing coke since like his first or second single. But with Party, it was like, so they're gonna put heavy auto-tune on a man that can already sing. And it's not like an overdone stylistic auto-tune like T-Pain. It's literally a pop pitch correction auto-tune. And it doesn't sound good on him because it's too much. And they do it in order to keep Drake and P&D in sync. And it doesn't really work. But what also doesn't work is any of the chemistry that is made to make Some Sexy Songs for You. This song is not for women. Riding in a car with a woman who likes R&B music, she will tell you herself, this album is not for women. This is for dudes that think they get women and like reminisce on old stories when they used to fuck some girl and then they want to talk about it amongst themselves. This is exactly who that album is for. This is the album for dudes that think they get a lot of pussy and get a lot of play and think that they can just turn this on and girls going to immediately drop their drawers and be like, oh my God, you like Drake, and like give you some sloppy toppy in the middle of the living room. This is not for women. Almost none of it is. You mean to tell me lyrics like in Superman, Spider-Man, Superman,
literally bashing women.
Yeah. Bash like it, time passes whether we're looking at the clock or not. Time passes whether I'm copying you a watch or not. Like, it's just, all this stuff is about buying women's affection and then either pissing them off or like taking them back to the hood because they don't deserve to be there with you. Give Me a Hug is literally like a track for strippers. Like, it's not even about the strippers. It's about the fact that that's
a down badass nigga.
Thank you. He's giving affirmation to the where my hug at niggas. And even worse, it's like you're one of the where's my hug at niggas, and you find your love and affection from the strip club. You're almost 40. Like one of the songs, I think it may be the song when he was like, I can't get married because I'm filling up the itinerary. And it's like, that's cool to some dude that's in like the red pill scene or in the intro level red pill where women are only good for sex and don't have that much value. So you think that that's cool. I'm trying to remember the other song, but it's one where he talks about like the girl got kicked out of her house. So she comes to be with him and then he takes her back home.
What's the name?
I'm just, or like, I wish I could remember it. The only songs that I was like, oh, this is for women was probably Something About You, Lasers, which actually is one of my favorite songs.
Anytime I hear
See,
Laser, I think about Lupe Fiasco.
man, I thought about that too. It was kind of tough to get past that. Raining in Houston, good song. But Celibacy is the weirdest, lamest. It's part 2 of Give Me a Hug.
Yeah.
Let me break your streak. I'm begging you. Because it's been 4 months, 2 weeks, and 36 hours and 8
so
minutes.
Cringe, dog. So cringe.
Since you've
man.
been please have sex with me.
So cringe.
But yeah, that's a sexy song for women.
No. Like I told you earlier a couple of days ago, instead of some sexy songs for you, should have called it a couple sexy songs for you. That's it.
Yeah. And then the fact that there's an entire Drake EP sitting inside this album because Party's not on every song, even though it's supposed to be a Party Next Door and Drake. Like, it's not done in alphabetical order, and that's intentional. This is Party Next Door's album with Drake fucking it up. And that's why I don't like this album. It's exactly. And it's not even finished music. It's not like, and I know people often gonna think, well, he's just a Drake hater. I'm not, trust me. I could easily be a Drake hater.
I know I'm not a Drake hater.
Yeah.
I love his early stuff. Like that's why I want him to get desperately back to that. I'm not saying he hasn't made exact albums like Nothing Was the Same or Take Care or something like that. I'm not saying he hasn't made exact albums like that. But the fact that I know that he's been able to do that, and this era of his music has now been hitting for me. And he's been stuck in this era for too long. It's time to switch it up.
Exactly. And that's what irks me so much about him. And I know, of course, I keep getting in arguments online.
But what would you have him? I just want to. What would you have him switch it up to, though? Because he has done a lot.
Well,
he's had the art. He's had Passion Fruit was like what essentially.
Don't do Honestly Never Mind. Don't do a project like that no more.
Which project?
Honestly Never Mind. Do not do that.
Oh, Honestly Never Mind.
Don't do that.
You know, that's where I disagree with you. I wouldn't mind him doing that if he did it with care. And I think that's my issue. And I also think that people that got on him for the ghostwriters, even though he doesn't really care about that.
Honestly, I don't really care.
Honestly, Never Mind was the time that he could have used them to curate a very good house album.
I don't care about the ghostwriting aspect because I know, like Kanye, for instance, pre everything after Life of Pablo. I mean, I know he's had ghostwriters and stuff like that, but I truly enjoyed his album. So, when it comes to people talking about ghostwriters and stuff like that, I really don't care about that unless you're just trying to qualify. Oh, well, he can't be the best of all time because he don't write his own music and stuff like that. That's when that comes into play. But if it just comes to enjoying an artist, I don't care if you write your shit or not.
Exactly.
I take more enjoyment out of when they write their own stuff. But that's because I'm a petty ass hater.
See it. And the thing,
at least
what's crazy
you
is
can admit it. Most people can't though.
Yeah,
right.
Because obviously we can still enjoy the songs,
of course.
But every time someone's a little too happy, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, you know what? He didn't write that shit, nigga."
This guy.
You know,
shit.
The only reason why that kind of shocks me coming from you is because you're a separate the art from the artist person. I'm not. So that's the reason why I don't like it, because I don't separate the art from the artist. I believe if you want to portray yourself in a light or you share these stories, if they are not authentically yours, then they are just for random marketing consumption and to make money. But whenever you want to tell an actual story, then I'm like, oh, you didn't write your own story about your life. Like, that's weird. Or you want to start a beef with somebody.
I only have it for the rankings. So you're right. Because honestly, I do have it for the rankings. Because, yeah, I mean, like I said, I still enjoy it. I just like shitting on people's little enjoyments a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Which is always fun.
Just because I'm like, we didn't write this. He didn't play this. Like, I don't know. If someone, for people who listen to music, people who play music, or who have ever tried to play music or make their own music, or has tried to sit down and write a beat or make a beat and write a song, you will like artists who make their own stuff more. But I don't care if someone doesn't do that. See what I'm saying?
Fair. Yeah,
I like it more. I should say that. I won't dislike someone more, but I will like somebody more.
I will. I hate your ass into the grave if you don't want to write your shit, but claim you the best at something.
Oh, okay. Now, yeah, obviously in Drake's situation, he's like actively saying he is the best.
And that's
Like,
why I
there's a
said what I
difference
said
between-
earlier. When it comes to those debates, if you're saying that you're the best of all time, you can't say that if you don't write your own shit.
Yeah, no. You in Cardi B's category, who has consistently said, "I'm here to make money." Lil Yachty has said, "I'm here to make money."
Just for consumption.
Have. Yeah, and that's totally fine. Lil
Right.
Yachty has made a lot. They have both made a lot of money.
True.
And
music.
Cardi off of just one album too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's still on a historic run from one album. That's crazy.
Lil Yachty had to do a bit more. More people had to do a lot more than that. But yeah, Bodak Yellow really captured the people's hearts. Don't know how.
They move mountains. Fed generations.
Hey, I mean, she do got some mountains.
Shoes.
She got some mountains with some big areolas.
That woman's she's still attractive as hell. But
I agree.
She has to be a torture to be with as a person, because why does Offset keep cheating? You know what? I'm not even gonna say it's any part of her. That man just has. He can't be her. This man just has no dick discipline. He just has no dick discipline. That's all it is. Oh, but anyway, speaking of dick discipline, back to celibacy. I think this is truly the absolute worst song on the album. Second is Die Trying.
He might as well be doing that stupid thing he be doing.
Yes, the uwu fingers.
Yeah, that.
It is, to me, this is the pettiest, weirdest, most awkward song on the entire album. And the reason why it's not Meet Your Padre, because it's kind of funny.
It is very funny.
Meet Your Padre is like number 3. Number 2 worst song on this album is Die Trying. I know a lot of actual fans of Drake think that this is a good song, but there's a reason to me why it sucks. One, everything I listed earlier about the syncing of the voices and the auto-tune.
It sounds like some shit that should be on The Notebook or something.
Yeah, it is some nice Target shopping music. White people gonna love it.
Of course.
But also, the biggest waste of the entire song, if anyone knows who Yebba is or has heard Yebba sing, the fact that she is only on the outro is a goddamn catastrophe. If the one thing my favorite song,
because she had Yebba's Heartbreak.
On Certified Lover Boy, it's my favorite song on the entire album. Arguably top 3. Champagne Poetry is incredible. 7 a.m. on Bridle Path. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
That song is great. That's a great song.
Even TSU. See, Drake knows how to make some good songs, but the thing is, he can't put it all in one project. Anyway, the song.
Say that.
The song kind of sucks. Like, it's very shopping at Target, H&M type music. And if they're supposed to be sexy songs for you, like, once again, they don't know how to fulfill this concept because half these songs are throwaways. And that's my issue. Like, if this was, they could have made some sexy songs for you, an 8-pack of just Crying in Chanel, Deeper, I guess Spider-Man, Superman. I really don't like that song. I really don't fucking like that song. It just seems so, using the superhero references was just stupid. It was just stupid.
I just can't help but troll every time when I be seeing them texts.
It's just so goddamn stupid. Like, every time I hear the song, whatever. I really don't have a way to explain it. I just really don't like this song. I looked at Dalen the whole time when we were in the car, and I was like repeating the words to the chorus as they played. And I was just like, this shit doesn't make any fucking sense. That girl took me for Spider-Man, Superman. Like, you. And then also, once again, trying to sync up, trying to do the singing thing together. You realize as soon as verse 2 hits and Party Next Door comes on, you're like, oh shit, Drake can't fucking sing. And then it makes it work. What makes it worse is that Party Next Door's verse is hella short. It's maybe like 6 bars. Then he sings the chorus by himself, and you're like, fuck, Drake really can't sing. Then you get to the outro, and you're like, shit. Where was Party on this whole song? Like, it just didn't seem like a collaborative effort, and I wish that would get through people's minds. But that song to me is a prime example of it being two people on a song and it not being a collaborative effort. It
He
doesn't
just
feel
made a
like they came up
cameo.
with this shit. Yeah, exactly. They didn't work on this shit together. But yeah, if you could make an EP of this, Crying in Chanel, who cares? Give us Nokia, Lasers. I know you don't, Something About You, even Raining in Houston? Not to say I like all these songs, but these would have worked together. Glorious and Somebody Loves Me. Oh my God. This 8-song EP. I don't know if that was 8 songs or not. Fuck it. Throw CN Tower in case I was short. But if you put those songs all on one EP, I actually would have enjoyed this. I would have saved it. I'm not having sex to it because who the fuck has sex to this shit? But it would have been good music. It would have been solid music at least. But unfortunately, for all you're going to get from me is that. Boo. Boo this album. Boo this man. But get back to rapping because if Joe Budden decides to respond to you calling him a dick sucker, that's going to be hell to pay. He already packed you out once. I still listen to Wake just as motivation for writing because I think Wake is one of the best Drake disses that's ever came Drake's way. It is incredible. But yeah, album's probably, if I had to rate it, it's like a 4.5 out of 10. These are sexy songs for niggas that think they sexy.
That's a wild ranking.
What a disappointing album.
Yeah. Anybody else got any rankings or anything I want to add on? Because I've realized I've said more than enough.
Honestly, I mean, when it comes to the album, with it being released on Valentine's Day, obviously, we knew the theme and stuff like that. And I guess, honestly, I already knew it wasn't going to be an album for me because, first of all, I don't like P&D. And then, two, like I said, this Certified Lover Boy era, I'm tired of it. So, like, when it comes to this project, hey, I may be in the minority and not liking it, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. Like I keep telling people, it's okay if you don't like everything, and it's okay if you do love everything. I mean, hey, if you want to do that, then hey, be my guest. But
Yep.
it's not because I like a certain particular artist. Like if I don't like a Kendrick song, oh, well, you're just a Drake lover. Or if I don't like a Drake song, oh, you're just no. It's not always just that one sided, and that's the one thing I hate. I hate about this beef. Like if you can't give credit to either one, it's oh, you're this or you're that. It don't have to be that way.
Exactly.
Like I just didn't like. I don't like the album overall as a whole. Will I listen to it down the road? Probably not. When it comes to For All the Dogs and Certified Lover Boy and all that, I go back and listen to maybe 2 or 3 songs from each album, and I'm probably gonna do the same thing with this album. Now, when it comes to other albums that have been released over the last few years, there's a few of them I can name. I can listen to every day and feel content. Now, if I, make a playlist of like 2 or 3 songs from every album he's released in the last, 4 or 5 years, that album right there would be pretty good.
Yeah.
But if I were to combine all the fluff that he's added on all these albums, it's just too much. Like it's okay to release a mixtape. It's okay to release an EP. Everything don't have to be an album.
Exactly. But
That's
overall,
facts.
not Claude, my bad. Landon's ranking is out of 10. So, all right, Vera, what you got? Any closing thoughts on the album?
I mean, I didn't think it was even worth listening to, so they ain't much really say for me, dog. Like, keep it a buck with you. I think a lot of people just like, seeing that they got 28 million streams the first day, they didn't drop by half the next day. I was like, oh, okay. I don't really have to go back and listen to this.
Yeah.
I'll listen to a few clips. I'll listen to a few snippets. See if I hear anything good. So, the production's not bad. I don't know why everyone's hating. Then I listen to the words, and I'm like, oh, I see why. And, yeah. I mean, I think if you do look at the context of him being the age he is, that it really does not help. at all. Like at all,
Yeah.
at all. So I think, if I don't listen to it, I mean, from the snippets I heard, the production wasn't bad. I guess it's a 3, but I mean, because there's some really bad albums. There's some really bad artists in general out there who are out here making industrial music. So, like, I don't know, maybe a 3, 3.5 from the snippets.
Dang.
I mean, he's had such great music beforehand. Well, to me, he's had some really good music beforehand, and it's like, oh, this ain't it, Chief.
That's true. Also, for y'all that didn't know, since there have been a lot of reviews and opinions coming through, Party Next Door actually responded to some of the criticism
Oh yeah, I know
and
what you're talking
basically
about.
said that the song wasn't meant to be set wasn't meant to be broken down. It was meant to, it was meant to be you be fucking. So like, go out and get some bitches and stop trying to break down every single lyric. And I was like, that is one of the absolute worst defenses
So lazy and
for a
stupid
project that
take.
people don't like. But also, I want to let people know, if you like this album, it is okay.
Exactly.
But if you like Celibacy and Meet Your Padre, you are the fucking problem. Because you have lowered the bar on music so much. Those 2 songs, I even give a pass for Die Trying, even though I think Die Trying is a
It's
terrible
like you're
song.
being a human pig. Like you just take any type of slug.
Exactly. You just, because there's no way you should be excited to hear lyrics like that. And once again, even if you're not
Celibacy.
supposed
Oh
to,
my god, that's it's so cringe, man.
yeah.
So cringe.
And by the way, I didn't paraphrase that. Those are the real lyrics.
Oh, I
Drop
know.
to my knees,
I know.
let me
I've
break
heard.
your streak.
I think I've
I'm
heard the
begging you,
album.
please.
I think I've heard it 3 times, or maybe 4 times all the way through. And yeah, that
Exactly.
song right there is an immediate skip for me.
But yeah, see what I just did there, Claude? That's exactly the 3 notes that he hits every single time he sings. Drop to my knees, let me break your streak. I'm begging you, please. 'Cause it's been 4 months and 2 weeks and 36 hours and 8 minutes since you've been pleased. Like, he does the same 3 notes all the time. It just didn't work. And in this song, it was cringy and it didn't work.
That nigga went to
Like,
the studio and actually hit record on that shit.
Exactly. This man made Marvin's Room and then turned around and did this. And then
Shit don't make no sense.
Yeah, because Marvin's Room a classic. Regardless if you like it or not, it's a fucking classic. And then you come out with this shit? Come on, man.
Yeah, and I just even Party like outwrote him on that second verse. But I mean, it's like, did it really matter? You'll never take our kids away from me. We'd make it work. It's like, what the fuck? Are you saying it during sex? Like, you fucking dummy. Like, these dudes literally talking. They literally are talking their way out of the panties half this album. At least half this album. Nobody's fucking a dude that went to the strip club to go like get a hug from strippers. Like, you think they actually like you, and then you tell them that you love them? What the fuck,
nah,
you weirdo?
You just don't understand, bro. You're not a real fucker, bro.
Yo.
But yeah, that's it for that. Last thing, to pivot into some anime, I actually have been able to keep up with more than just hip hop music.
Since we are shonen, yes.
Yeah, I actually been able to keep up with Sakamoto Days, and I am very proud of myself because not only have I kept up with it, I remembered everything. For
light spoilers.
I know we mentioned. Oh yeah, barely. You know what? I'll be honest. I can talk about Sakamoto Days without spoiling anything outside of the synopsis that you would read, on Netflix. I think that overall, this is a very good show. It is kind of it's like Spy Family from a different perspective. Like, from the perspective of, in Spy Family, Yor is trying to build the family to live a normal life, but it's all a facade for one big mission. And in Sakamoto Days, Sakamoto is actually really building a life post-assassin, post-spy lifestyle. And I think that it's really cool that not only is there humor in the show, but one thing I can say that I'm very happy about, the dub is freaking good. I know a lot of people usually get mad about it,
A lot of people hate on dub. I'm like, hey, it's the
a
fucking
lot of
language we
people.
speak. Just shut the hell up.
Exactly. Also, I meant not your. Yours also doing the same thing, but Lloyd. Lloyd is the father. Yours the wife.
Mm-hmm.
Air quotes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. It's funny because like everybody is in on it in Spy Family, and then like nobody is in on it in Sakamoto Days. I will not expound upon that part because then it gets into spoiler territory. But you know, him and his wife talk about him leaving that life behind and having a rule book and things to abide by in order to live a normal life. While in Spy Family, they are attempting to live a normal life with their own facade, like you know, with their actual goals being hidden as a facade. I really like how that's different. The art is good. The only thing I'm not the biggest fan of the intro music, but the intro sequence, like the art and stuff that's in it, pretty dope. Um, if there's anything that I would change, I probably make the humor a little less on the nose because it is very straightforward. Like Sakamoto Days is a very straightforward show, and I kind of like that because not only does it make easy consumption, but it also in the 20 minutes that it's there, it doesn't beat around the bush. Like you're going to see the stuff they want you to see, and you're going to hear about the people that they want you to hear about, and it's moving quickly. Like you're going to learn about Sakamoto literally like the moment that you see him, you learn all about his past. And some people wouldn't like that, but I liked it because I was like, all right, it's not just focused on his past, but his past is a part of him. And then you see how he's trying to move forward. And the show is trying to get you in the same place. We want to move forward. He doesn't really want to be an assassin anymore. But like that life just keeps calling me. Like I think it's a really good show. I recommend it for anybody. I think all the characters are well designed. I think it's very funny. It was way funnier than I thought it would be because I just thought the concept would be the only thing funny. But the characters are like Asakura has some funny moments. When you get introduced to Seba, his is terrifying and funny at the same time. But yeah, it's a really good show. I think it has some staying power. I know the manga is like what I think 40. No, how many chapters? I forgot. But I don't know. But it's been in the Shonen Jump since November 2020. So they got it. They got some stuff going for them. But I think they're moving in the right direction. It's a very good show. Almost everybody can watch it. Teenagers and up, please. Just because, you know, it's violence. But but it's not grotesque in any way. And the people that are introduced are like always interesting. Even if they're only there for an episode or two. It's pretty cool.
I'll definitely be catching up here shortly. So
Any opinions on what you've seen so far?
so far, you know, just the backstory and seeing, you know, where he's come from and stuff like that, definitely was entertaining. I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna watch it sub or dub. I mean, I think both, regardless of which way you know, listen. I think both are good options. It's the same way I feel about Yu Yu Hakusho, which is an OG. Like when it comes to listening to sub or dub, I mean, if you got complaints about dub, you got to get your ears fixed or something like that, or I don't know what to tell you because dub sounds amazing. But yeah, like there's certain scenes where I was like, I like the way it's animated. I like the way you know the story is coming together, and I'm looking forward to you know restarting where I left off. I think I was on episode 3. I think so. I'm looking forward to starting it back up.
It's definitely worth it.
I was too busy finishing Dragon Ball Daima or whatever. Uh, and my thing is like when it comes to that particular show, obviously, you know, losing Akira, a lot of people are gonna watch it, you know, just because hey, that was his last work before he passed. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of the fan base is kind of divided because of how they feel about all the retconning that's being done and all the inconsistencies and stuff like that. And I understand that. I really do. But in regards to just watching it, I just say watching. I mean, it's very easy to watch. It's an interesting storyline to me, because it's talking about characters that I guess were in the background for the most part or whatever, and you're learning
Yeah.
backstories about Supreme Kai and where Piccolo came from, and I'm not going to get too much into it, if people want to watch it or whatever, but regardless of how people feel about it, it's very easy to watch. I say watch it. If you like it, cool. If not, it's all good. I mean, just like any show, any music, if you like it, cool. If not, that's cool too. That's what it's all about when it comes to any type of media. It's all about just giving everything a chance. I gave it a chance.
Exactly.
I liked it. It's not something that I would ever put over Dragon Ball Z, but when it comes to extending the storyline, I like it.
I'm not watching it until it's dubbed.
I understand, and they're doing it right now.
That's my only hold up.
I think they're up to episode 5 or 6 in dub right now. I think something like that.
Yeah,
but I watched all the subs, so I'm all the way to like episode 18 or 19, I think. But yeah, like when it comes to Dragon Ball, that's another anime where hey, if you watch sub or dub, can't go wrong.
Yeah, and I'm waiting. Also, one of the reasons I'm waiting for the dub is because I know Stephanie Naldonli.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, she came to your store back in the day in college.
Yeah, and she asked me how about the wedding. I told her when Kenzo was about to be born. I've talked to her multiple times. I even congratulated her way too early on Instagram. And she was like, huh? I was like, girl, I know you're doing the voice. Stop playing with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, since I know her and I've talked to her on multiple occasions, and I would say it's a loose, it's still an acquaintanceship, but she'll recognize me in public the same way that anybody will recognize her. So,
and that's a flex.
I'll wait for her version.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, solid flex. I've even had some recommendations for people that want to get into voice acting. I usually get advice from her on how to help them out. But yeah. I will watch it at some point. Just
it's not bad.
Like we already know.
It really isn't.
Yeah. Even when I watched it in sub wasn't bad. I just really hate Goku's voice subbed. Good God, I hate his voice subbed.
It's fucking terrible. I love sub. I'd be honest, I'm a dub hater. I hate most dubs. That's because most dubs suck, to be honest. The voice acting's terrible.
Hey, Ghost Stories dubbed is probably up there as one of the worst I've heard.
That's iconic.
It is great. It's great for humor, like to laugh at and stuff. Like it's great to laugh at.
That's a good one. The one where they're eating food in the dungeon. Can't remember the name of it, but that one's a good one. Delicious in Dungeon is good. That's
great. Yeah.
There's some really good dubs.
Yeah, like I said, Yu Yu Hakusho, man. Like you can't tell me otherwise. That is a fantastic
that's another one.
Dub.
It's better than the sub.
I don't care what nobody says about Kurobaru's voice. It works, damn it.
It works. It works a lot. And Yusuke calling everybody bastards and stuff, man, they never gets old, man.
That shit was great. No.
That real life version of Yu Yu Hakusho is insane.
It's actually good.
Oh my god, that's
remaster Yu Yu Hakusho, damn it.
I honest to God hate almost every single
live
anime
action
that gets put into a live action, but Yu Yu Hakusho is the only one I like. Like legitimately the only one.
Mm-hmm.
I completely forgot about it until you said something.
It looks like a Jackie Chan fight movie. Like the production value is over Hollywood level.
Damn,
it's ridiculous. So yeah, check it out. You'll love it, y'all.
I'll definitely check it out because I completely forgot about the live action until you said it, so I'll definitely check it out.
Yeah, no. The first episode, you're gonna be like, holy crap, they don't pull punches on anything. There's a little bit of blood in it. It's not too much. Actually, by today's standard, it's pretty not much at all.
I
Actually,
got no problem with Blue. So.
But the fighting is just the action scenes. It's not like that crap where they switch the camera like 20 billion times.
Oh yeah,
It's really good.
Yeah. Oh, thank God. I hate my biggest thing is I hate when fight scenes have nothing but like shaky cam. I hate shaky cam fight scenes. I don't need you to be stumbling around to make it look like they're really having a tussle. That's overdone. Like, just have good choreography. None of the other shit is needed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Y'all would like it. That'd be my one suggestion for anime.
Sweet. Hey, I'll take it. Hey, you haven't seen Sakamoto Days, have you?
No, I haven't. I need to watch it.
Yeah, it's worth it. You like Spy Family, so you'll definitely like it. I think there's a little bit more to it, so I think you won't like it more,
similar.
but you like it just as much.
It's definitely similar.
Marvel Rivals didn't have me in a chokehold, and if I didn't have Disney Plus, I started watching Moon Knight. I was like, holy crap, this is actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, it is. For somebody that hasn't even watched it yet, I heard how close it was to some of the comics, and I was like, you know what? Whenever I'm over my Marvel fatigue, that might be like top 3 on the list.
It's taken me a very long time to get over Marvel fatigue. I think if there wasn't the video game, I would still not care about Marvel movies or shows.
That's very fair.
Because after Endgame, it was just too hard. It was just too hard. There's too much.
I was thinking about going to see that new Captain America too, just to go see it.
I will definitely see it. I know that I've heard about what has been ruined, and from people that aren't fucking racist.
Yeah.
And I've heard about the flaws that are like legitimate movie flaws, but I've also heard that it's not nearly as bad as what people have been saying it is. So,
and that's how I feel.
I'm willing.
I think the whole political climate kind of ruined that whole movie.
Yeah, especially for people that don't fucking read. That's the biggest issue with like everything surrounding media and art these days. Is like people don't read when things have source material that is written down, and then they get mad about what they see rather than what they actually know.
They just think Sam Wilson is just a made up character, and I'm like, it's in the fucking comics, man.
Exactly.
But, hey, that's just what you have to expect. Like you said, with the way society is now, anything black or any minority group, oh, that's a DEI superhero. Fuck that.
It pisses me off so much. God, it pisses me off so much. But anyway, like I said, everybody go watch Sakamoto Days. I recommend it. If I have to give it a numeric score, it's probably 8 out of 10. The other 2 points, honestly, just from being too relatable to things that I've seen, and I think Spy Family is a 9 out of 10, and I don't think it's better, but I do think it's great. Other than that, we covered everything, and we did it in less time than we usually do. It's not 2 hours. It's like an hour and 18.
There we go. We're getting better.
We're getting significantly better. So, for me, my final words, as usual, as I say on stream, take care of yourself and those around you, and make sure to love yourself and the ones that love you the most. Any other closing thoughts from anyone else?
And the way that society is right now, guys, just remember, just echoing, a little bit what LQ said, when it comes to mental health and, physical, emotional, all the other stuff, make sure that you do, just checkups on yourself, especially in this climate, because we don't know where we're heading. So just make sure that you look out for yourself, your family, friends, and God bless.
And for me, I ain't got too much. Y'all take it easy, bro. It's hot out there.
Sounds good.
Hey, works for me. Make sure to, just be kind to people. Unless they're racist. Slap a racist. But don't get caught, because it's that too. But remember, those things are still illegal. So whatever you do, don't get caught. But we hate racism over here. Until next time, Shonen Speakeasy. We out.
Yep.